Hello. Yeah. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of an issue I had, and hopefully this will help folks that might be experiencing the same issue. The issue is the system won't post if both primary modules for RAM are installed in, say, A2 and B2 in dual channel mode. But it will post if there's only one in A2. Now, this will be the same issue regardless of your motherboard. It happens with a Z490 and also happens with the B560M. For me, what I had the Z490 with an Intel 10850K in it, and the system crashed while playing No Man's Sky, and it corrupted the Windows installation. So I ended up getting a solid state drive and pulling out the M.2 because I couldn't get the M.2 to work, and I went ahead and stuck in a solid state drive to start the Windows installation, and I realized that it wasn't posting, and I couldn't figure out what the deal was. So I went ahead and troubleshooted, and I noticed up here on the, actually it would be down here on the AX Gaming, on this motherboard, the LEDs are down at the bottom, and it indicated there was a DRAM issue. So I pulled from B2 here, and I pulled that out. System posted. I figured it was a bad module. So I reinstalled Windows onto the solid state drive, the SSD, and decided to shut it down. And what I did then is I went and got my other set of memory, Team Group, and I stuck the Team Group RAM in here, and same issue. Pull it out, would post. Put it back in, dual channel mode, won't post. Odd. So I went and got my Trident memory, and I stuck my Trident memory in here. Same issue. All right, I know the other RAM came from working systems, so something was funky here. Anyway, so I figured it was a bad board. And I went ahead and pulled the board out and RMA'd it. And in the process of RMAing the board, this B4 or 560M came on sale for $99. And it's a great board. It's brand new B560 series. It has good, all the specs are good, and everything else. It doesn't seem to have suffer from what a lot of the other B560 boards have been having issues with, mainly with their power management systems. Anyways, so I've sat on it for a couple of days, and then I decided to go ahead and set the system up, and I put this B560M in this Tough Gaming motherboard into the system, and this is a Fantex case, side mounted the 2060 here for better cooling, and went and posted it. And I was going to wait till Friday to post the system, but the M.2 that was originally on this board here that I thought was bad, turned out it wasn't bad. It was, it just wasn't getting to the point where it was reading. So I went ahead and stuck it in here to see what would happen. Of course, Windows is on there, but it's corrupt, so it'll tell me, do you want to repair, and can't fix it, blah blah blah. But it's good enough for posting the system. And I went to start the system, and up here on this board you get LED lights that tell you what the problem is, and it stopped on number 2, which is a DRAM issue. What? So I did the troubleshooting again. I pulled out the module here, would post, would go to BIOS. Okay. Then I swapped out this memory for the Team Group memory, same issue. Swapped it out for the Trident memory, same issue. In the meantime, the Z490 board came back from Gigabyte. They didn't find an issue with it. Okay, and now I'm experiencing the same issue with this board. So I set the Z490 board up on its box, hooked up power, hooked up a monitor and everything else to it, and I dropped the i3 chip into it, and it worked with this RAM. So I know there was no problem with the RAM. So I tested my other 2 sets of RAM, no issues. Then I decided, I wonder if it possibly could be the CPU. So what I did is I pulled the CPU out of the system, and I stuck it on the Z490 gaming board, which was the original board it was on, and same issue. It would not post if there were 2 modules in slots A2 and B2. It would post if there was only one memory DIMM on there. Just to be on the safe side, I then took the Core i3 and stuck it into this B560M board right here, and lo and behold, in dual channel mode, it posts and it tries to fix Windows. So it's working. So I went ahead and got a hold of Intel and explained the issue, and they say the CPU is possibly bad, that it will not read, it will not proceed, or cannot do, won't power on, whatever you want to call it, if it detects it's in dual channel mode. I don't have enough DIMMs to go, all 4 channels here, but, I don't have a set of 4 DIMMs to do it with, so I only have the 2 16s. And the three 32 gigs, and each one of those are 2 sticks of 16. So yeah, if you have a problem in your experiencing system and you know it's not the motherboard and you know it's not the memory, it's most likely the CPU. And it'll work in single channel, but it will not work in dual channel. It's the darndest thing. Anyways, I hope these steps that I went through will help somebody if they're having a similar issue. Check that CPU. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a lot of information on the internet about what it could be, but I'm almost certain, in talking to the Intel people, it seems like it's the CPU. Now I'm in the Intel RMA system, and we'll see what happens. Alrighty, thanks for watching.